Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and the Restless sizzles with 3 single ladies looking for new romances as we head into November sweeps in just a few weeks. We're going to talk about how Audra Charles, Phyllis Summers, and Claire Grace Newman might be seeing sparks fly soon. So, we've got 3 potential new romances that are in the works, and they might all start to sizzle by the time November sweeps kicks off on October 30th. First, let's talk about Phyllis. She has a thing for Kane Ashby, but he's been carrying a torch for Lily Winters ever since he came back to Young and the Restless. Now, frankly, at this point, it seems like there might actually be some potential for Phyllis and Kane because he's finally seeing he does not stand a snowball's chance in heck with Lily. So, Phyllis was fixated on him even before it came out that Aristotle Dumas was Kane Ashby. We know Phyllis thought Dumas was the key to her getting a fabulous new career and new life, and showing everybody in Genoa City how wrong they were about her. And then, when Phyllis went to France and found out Dumas was Kane, she got flirty. The vibe Phyllis has been giving towards Kane has only intensified since they came back to town. Now, despite him trying to get rid of her, Phyllis is working for Kane, and she's one of the people closest to him. More recently, he finally started flirting back with Phyllis. He invited her to dinner not that long ago. So, Kane and Phyllis seem to be sparking, and they're both town pariahs, so they're almost each other's only romantic options. If Kane and Phyllis go through with this AI attack on one or more of the legacy companies, they will be even more hated by everybody. Plus, a recent Young and the Restless spoiler says Phyllis finds romance with someone unexpected. So, she's definitely getting romance, and I fully expect it to be with Kane. And while I have been expecting this to happen for a while, the people that write Y and are spoilers don't think the viewers are that smart. So they probably think that nobody is expecting Phyllis and Kane to hook up. So October could be when it happens for them. And I think Fane might be a good smoosh name for them. Now, let's talk about Audra. She tried desperately to get Nate Hastings to take her back, but he made the smart move and told Audra, heck no. She finally realized that Nate is too good for her, but you know who's not? Nepo baby Kyle Abbott. Claire dumped Kyle for lying, and if she knew how close he came to dropping that towel and doing the deed in France with Audra, oh my goodness, Claire would double down on the dumping. So Kyle and Audra are both single, and they absolutely loathe each other. But we all know that Kyle and Audra are also hot for each other, though they would not admit it right now. It wasn't all that long ago that Kyle slid into Audra's sheets right after he broke up with Summer Newman over her mom's fake death lies. And Kyle and Audra had a really hot fling going, but it was never romantic. It was never emotional. And then Kyle found love with Claire, and Audra had something really good going with Nate Hastings. But Kyle and Audra both managed to screw up their relationships, and now they're both single. So Kyle is going to try one last play to win back Claire. He is planning to stalk her all the way to LA. But if he does go there, I can see Kyle getting a huge rejection from Claire, who may tell him there's no chance they'll ever get back together. And he heads back to Genoa City very upset. And of course, Audra and Kyle blame each other for their relationships failing, and the feud between them is rapidly escalating. But we all know there's a very thin line between love and hate, especially on soaps. And I think they're going to cross it. And Audra and Kyle will be back in bed together soon. Of course, it won't be flowers and romance. At least not at first. I think it would be hate sex, but eventually I could see Audra and Kyle catching genuine feelings for each other, and it would turn from a revenge rebound to a real romance. I do think there's potential there. The last lovely lady I want to talk about is Claire. So, she has been on our radar for a new romance ever since Holden Novak first encountered her on Young and the Restless. I just had this inkling there might be something there. The first time they shared Vespers. Ever since Holden saw Claire at the GCAC bar, he has been growing a bigger and bigger crush on her. Now, at the time that she and Holden first met, Claire was still head over heels for Kyle, and Holden was still a little bit fixated on Audra. But after seeing Claire, we have watched it evolve, and Holden has shifted his attention from Audra over to her. So, Claire and Holden, they have slowly become genuine friends. And then they got a lot closer when Claire lost her dad, Cole Howard. As a matter of fact, it was Holden who was there for Claire to lean on and was comforting her while her dad was sick and dying because Kyle was off in France playing naughty games with Audra when he should have been home with his grieving girlfriend. And at that point, it was clear Holden had feelings for Claire. So, he didn't care about Audra anymore. And in fact, Holden is determined to protect Claire from Audra. But lucky for Holden, we saw Kyle and Claire's relationship blow up. And now she is following Holden to LA. And I think things are about to get steamy between Claire and Holden while they are away in Los Angeles. We know Claire wants to experiment and try more things in life, and I'm guessing that means she would like to try another lover and a new romance. I'm not sure that she is looking to fall head over her heels in love again really fast after Kyle, who was trying to get engaged to her, was pushing Claire to move in and pushing her to get married. So, I don't think that's what she's looking for right at this moment. But I do think whatever Claire is willing to offer, that Holden is totally ready for that. So, I feel like the sparks are going to be flying between Claire and Holden before too much longer, especially because Kyle is planning to show up in LA and make what he thinks is a big grand gesture. He keeps not listening to Claire when she says, "Give me a moment. Let me breathe." He's told his parents, if Claire has too long to think, she'll realize that she doesn't love him. Well, if that's true, then she really doesn't love him, and Kyle needs to back off. But I do think he is probably going to follow her to California, and that might push Claire towards Holden even faster than expected. Watch and see the foundation for these 3 new romances keep building until we get into November sweeps at the end of this month, and then we should start getting some steam. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.